Hello everyone and welcome to the Shadow Realm. Today we're going to showcase my DDD deck profile post Battle of Chaos. I'm also going to show you 4 interesting combos, so stick around until the end of the video. Now let's dive right into the deck profile. We're gonna start things off with triple copies of DD Griffon. This card is everything DDD ever needed. If you control a DD monster, you can special summon it from your hand in defense position. When it's revived from the graveyard, it can search for a DD card, and when it's pendulum summoned, you can discard one DD card and draw another card. It's really awesome that it's level 4 because now we can go for exist plays. Next we have still one of the best starters in the deck, triple copies of the Savant Kepler. This card upon summon can search for any dark contract from the deck, and now as you will see it has another target to search for. Even if we have the dark contract, we want to start with this card to bait an interruption, and alongside DD Griffon we can combo off easily. Then alongside DD Savant Kepler we're also playing triple copies of DD Savant Copernicus. Post Battle of Chaos, this card alongside DD Griffon and no other extenders can provide us with 5 interruptions. I will showcase the combo later in the video. Also keep in mind that with Copernicus we can send any DD monster that we want to the graveyard and also chain block the effect of Genghis. Next of course we're playing triple copies of DD Swirl Slime. We definitely want to see this card in our opening hand alongside the DD Griffon. You can't really play less than 3. Next of course we're playing the triple copies of DD Necro Slime, so we can fusion summon using materials from the graveyard. This card is really essential in our combos because it allows us to go into multiple Genghis and go into high king Genghis in some scenarios. Next of course we're playing the heart and soul of the deck, triple copies of DD Lamia. Lamia is really essential in almost every combo of the deck because it allows us to go into our synchro plays. Also the fact that it can send any DD monster to the graveyard as cost is really essential in most of our combos. And next we're playing the 2 copies of the big boss daddy of the deck, 2 copies of DD Oblivion King Ragnarok. This card is really essential for the combos, and also if you hard draw it, you can activate it and send it on the scale, and this way you can make sure you can play past Nibiru. It also gives you the flexibility to send it to the graveyard or special summon it in order to special summon another monster. Moving on to the one-offs of the deck, we're playing a single copy of DD Vice Typhon and 1 copy of DD Ghost. Vice Typhon is essentially another copy of Necro Slime that we can special summon the High Flame King Genghis with, and DD Ghost is the target that we special summon usually with Griffon Hulky Fibrax. Also DD Ghost allows us to fill the graveyard with more resources. Moving on, the newest addition in the deck is 1 copy of DD Savant Thomas and 1 copy of DD Orthros. Thomas is amazing in the scale because it allows us to get monsters from the extra deck back into our hand, and DD Orthros is essential for most of the combos, especially the anti-Nibiru one. It's also an awesome card to out Mystic Mine with, since when it's placed on the scale you can destroy it alongside another spell or trap on the field. Next, the last one of in the main deck is 1 copy of DD Chaos King Apocalypse. As most of you know, Chaos King Apocalypse is usually placed on the scale, so we can special summon it for free. And let's move on to the spell cards. We're playing a single copy of 1/1 and 1 copy of Called by the Grave. 1/1 is extremely powerful in this deck because we can special summon either Kepler or Lamia directly from our deck. Now moving on to the rest of the spell cards, we're playing triple copies of Allure of Darkness. In most scenarios, 2 cards are enough for full combo, but in some other cases, Allure of Darkness allows us to dig deeper for other extenders so we can create more solid boards. In this form of DDDs that we play many one-offs, Allure of Darkness is the only safe option. And of course that wouldn't be a DDD deck if we didn't play triple copies of Dark Contract with the Gate. With a new boss monster, having Dark Contracts on the field means that he have another interruption so he can absorb other monsters your opponent controls. Now moving on, we're also playing 1 copy of Dark Contract with the Swamp King. In this version of the deck, this card is really essential. Another newest addition in the deck is patented Dark Contract Documents. While this card is face up on the field and your opponent special summons a monster with the same type as a DD monster you control, for example a Fusion, Synchro or Link, you can inflict 1000 damage to your opponent and then they cannot special summon the same type of monster for the rest of the turn. And on top of that, if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can get a DD card. Now moving on to the generic spells, we're playing double copies of Forbidden Chalice. This card is really great, either going first or second, so you can trade with your opponent's negates. Also, if you're going first and you set this card, you have the ability to activate it in response to Dark Lure No More or Forbidden Droplets, and then negate it with Siegfried. Now moving on to the rest of the spells, we're playing double copies of Triple Tactics Talent. Since this card is only once per turn, we don't want to clog up our deck with 3 copies of this card. But if our opponent interrupts us at the start of our combo, we can look at their hand and reap a potential Nibiru. Now moving on to the trap lineup, we're playing a single copy of Triple T Headhunt. The amazing thing about this card is that it's searchable through Griffon and that it can steal your opponent's monsters and make it a Triple T monster if it was special summoned from the extra deck. So having another interruption is very beneficial for the archetype. Now moving on to the extra deck, we're playing a single copy of DDD Abyss King Gilgamesh, 1 copy of Crosship and 1 copy of Griffon Hulky Fibrax. There are some niche scenarios that you might need the second copy of Abyss King Gilgamesh, but aside from that, this is the perfect ratio of link monsters. As for Crosship and Griffon Hulky Fibrax, they're essential for the combos, especially Griffon that can special summon a tuner from the deck. Now moving on to the fusion lineup, we're playing double copies of DD Flame King Genghis and 1 copy of Triple D High Flame King Genghis. All of them are essential for the combos, especially Triple D High Flame King Genghis because it can negate an imperm. As for the smaller ones, we use them for exist material. Moving on to the synchro lineup, we're playing a single copy of Triple D Cast King Alexander, essential for the combos. For the synchro aids, we're playing a single copy of Triple D Cursed King Siegfried, 1 copy of Borlud Savage. Siegfrieds are spell and trap negates that allow us to play through Dark Ruler and Droplets, and Savage is an Omni negate that can be substituted by Crystal Wing if you don't have the budget, or you can try to fit both Crystal Wing and Borlud Savage by cutting one of the smaller exist monsters. And to round up our synchro package, we're playing a single copy of Formula Synchron and 1 copy of Baron de Flare. Sadly, Baron is essential in order to play around Nibiru, but if you don't have the budget, you can replace her with a copy of Satellite Warrior. Satellite can be a very good form of interruption, but in this version of the deck we don't have the space to play both. And for the exist package of the extra deck, we're playing 1 copy of King Caesar and 1 copy of King Tell. When Caesar is sent to the graveyard, we can search for a dark contract, and when Tell is sent to the graveyard, we can foolish for a DD monster to the graveyard. Both of them are really important in this hybrid version of the deck. Also, King Tell has an effect that burns your opponent for 1000 damage that can be very handy when going to time. Now we're playing a copy of Triple D Wave King High Caesar. When your opponent tries to summon with the effect of a monster or a spell or trap card, you can negate it twice. And lastly, the newest addition in the deck is 1 copy of Triple D Amnesty King Tomb Machina. You can overlay this card on top of any DD monster, and it has the great effect that once per chain, when your opponent activates a monster effect, you can detach 2 materials from this card or destroy a dark contract, so you can absorb that monster that activated this effect. And that makes this card extremely powerful. This is going to be a 4th card and the Nibiru combo. Let's see. We're going to start things off with Dark Contract with the Gate. Dark Contract with the Gate is going to grab us Orthros. Then we're going to use these 2 for a fusion summon of Flame King Genghis. Then we can activate the effect of Slime, banishing it. So we can special summon Lamia from our hand, activating the effect of Genghis to special summon Griffon. And Griffon is going to activate his effect in order to get us a copy of Swirl Slime, Necro Slime. Then we can normal summon Orthros and use these 2 for a copy of Baron de Flare. And now we have several options. The best one is to use these 2 for for a link summon that's going to go into Christian Hulky Fibrax. Hulky Fibrax effect is going to activate and special summon the DD Ghost. Then we can use the effect of Lamia, pitching Necro Slime to the graveyard. And then we can use these 2, banishing Lamia, sending Ghost to the graveyard in order to special summon Abyss King Gilgamesh. Abyss King Gilgamesh 1, Ghost as Tailink 2. Ghost is going to send another copy of Necro Slime to the graveyard, just to have it in rotation, and Gilgamesh is going to set Kepler and Abyss King Ragnarok. Okay, now we're going to activate Necro Slime, banishing it alongside this is going to be in the extra deck, and banish these 2 to special summon another copy of Flame King Genghis, and then that's going to trigger the effect of Ghost to bring Lamia back to the graveyard, just to have her in rotation. That's going. Then we're going to overlay for a copy of Machina, activating the effect of Ragnarok to pay 1000 and revive Genghis back from the graveyard. And then we can use these 2 for a copy of High Wave King Caesar. And the good thing about that is that we can pendulum summon now. We can pendulum summon using this one and this one. And then we're going to synchro with these 2 for a copy of Siegfried. And that's going to be our Nibiru combo. That's going to have a lot of interruptions, and during our opponent's turn we can put Baron, for example, back to the extra deck. We can activate Christian Hulky Fibrax by banishing it and special summon a copy of Formula Synchron, drawing a card, and if we bounce back Baron, we can special summon her once again. And this, mind you, is playing through Nibiru. Now we're gonna start things off with a 3-card combo that's going to lock our opponent from their extra deck. Normal summoning Kepler is going to search us for the dark contact of the gate. Activating it, we're going to search for Copernicus. Then we're gonna use these two and send them to the graveyard to special summon a copy of Genghis. Then we're gonna banish the Swirl Slime to special summon a copy of Copernicus. Copernicus is going to use his effect to send Lamia and then trigger the effect of Genghis to special summon Griffon. Griffon is going to trigger his effect to get to our hand a copy of Necro Slime. And then we can use these two for an overlay to Caesar and then for Marksman King Tell. Then we can use these two for a link summon of Grossip, trigger the effect of Tell to send Typhon to the graveyard, and then we can banish Typhon and banish the copy of Copernicus from the graveyard in order to special summon a copy of High Flame King Genghis, activating the effect of Grossip to revive back the Lamia, and then we can use Grossip and Lamia for a link summon of Crystal Hulky Fibrex. Hulky Fibrex effect is going to revive back the ghost, and then we can use these two for a synchro summon of Siegfried. That's going to trigger the effect of Genghis and the effect of Ghost. Ghost is going to send another copy of Lamia to the graveyard, and then we're going to revive back from the graveyard one copy of Wave King Caesar. Then we're going to activate the effect of Lamia, sending Necro Slime to the graveyard in order to special summon herself, and then we're going to use these two for a link summon of Gilgamesh. Chain Link 1, Chain Link 2. This is going to grab us a copy of Dark Contract with the documents, and this one is going to set us the two scales, Chaos King Apocalypse and Abyss King Ragnarok. Then we have several options. Now we can banish Necro Slime and Diddy Ghost from the graveyard in order to special summon another copy of Genghis. That's going to trigger the Ragnarok, and also the effect of Ghost is going to give us back the slime. And we're going to revive back our second copy of Genghis. Then we can use these two for a copy of Wave King High Caesar. And then we have Apocalypse, that's going to special summon himself by banishing two monsters from the graveyard. We can banish Caesar, we can banish King Tell, and then we can overlay him for a copy of Machina. And then at the end phase we're going to activate their contract with the Swamp King, they're going to documents, so we have locked our opponent from using any monster mechanic. We have Link, we have Pendulum, we have Fusion, Exceed and Synchro. And then on our opponent's turn we can banish Crystal Hulky Fibrex, we can special summon Formula Synchron, that's going to draw us a random card, and then we can synchro summon using 8 and, for example, the Wave Caesar for a copy of Baron de Fleur, meaning we're going to have another interruption during our opponent's turn. Now we're going to start with a 2-card combo, and we're going to need this Copernicus and the extender. Normal summon Copernicus, activate Copernicus effect to send this to the graveyard, special summon Griffon, then we can link these two off for a copy of Gilgamesh, activate Gilgamesh effect to set the Thomas and set the Orthros to our scales. Then we can Pendulum summon 2, 1, 2, and then we're gonna overlay these two for a copy of High King Caesar, Wave King Caesar. Activate Orthros, destroying this. This is going to the scale, this goes to the graveyard. And that's going to trigger his effect to get a contract with the Swamp King. Then we're going to activate Thomas to get Orthros back to our hand. And then we can banish Necro Slime and the copy of Copernicus from our graveyard in order to special summon a copy of Genghis. Then we're going to overlay for a copy of Machina, activating the effect of Genghis to revive back the Griffon, and Griffon is going to search us for a copy of Ragnarok. Now we're going to set the copy of Ragnarok, and then activate the contract of the Swamp King, activating its effect, banishing Caesar and special summoning a copy of Genghis. That's going to trigger Caesar, pay 1000, revive back Genghis, and special summon Orthros. Then we can overlay these two for a copy of Wave King Caesar, and then we can synchro these two for our copy of Siegfried. And now with only 2 cards, we actually have a double absorb with this, 2 negates with Caesar, and 1 spell trap negate with Siegfried. Okay, now we're going to showcase the ultimate combo that we can do with this deck. We're going to activate Dark Contract of the Gate, activate his effect in order to get a Lamia. And then we can use these 2 from our hand and fusion summon a copy of Flame King Genghis. Use the effect of Swirl Slime to banish and special summon Copernicus. Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2, Copernicus is going to send a copy of Necro Slime, and Genghis is going to revive back the Griffon. The Griffon is going to search for a copy of Abyssal Ragnarok, that we're probably gonna need it, and then we're going to link these 2 away for a copy of Crossip, and then we can normal summon Lamia and synchro with these 2 for a copy of Alexander. Then we can banish Necro Slime and we can banish the Genghis in order to special summon Flame King Genghis, effect of Crossip to revive back the Lamia, and then we can use these 2 for a copy of Christian Hulky Fibrax. Hulky Fibrax effect is going to activate special summon Ghost, special summon here, and then activate his effect in order to special summon Lamia. And then we will use these 2 for a copy of Bolded Savage. Bolded Savage is going to activate his effect to equip Crossip. And then we can use Lamia effect, sending this to the graveyard. That's going to trigger the effect of High Flame King Genghis, special summon Alexander. Then we can use these 2. This is going to get banished for a copy of Savage, and then we can link with these 2 cards for a copy of Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh is going to activate, we will pay 1000 and set these 2 scales. We can use the effect of Chaos King Apocalypse. We will banish this one and we will banish this one. We were going to get back the copy of Lamia. And then we're going to activate we're going to overlay for a copy of Machina. And that's going to trigger his effect, pay 1000, revive back the Lamia, and then we can synchro summon using these 2 cards for a copy of Cursed King Siegfried. And that's basically our end word. We have 2 absorptions with this. We can banish this one to special summon Formula Synchron, and either or we're going to use these 2 for a copy of World Flare. That is going to wrap up today's deck profile and combo tutorial. If you enjoyed the video and you want to make similar content like this in the future, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Also, if you want to support the channel, the links are down in the description. If you have any questions about the deck, make sure to join the Discord server, link in the description below. Until next time, I will see you in the Shadow Realm.